to help fix and get to the cause of what I believe a lot of people are suffering from and can use a lot more of. 3 keys to fast, clean energy. Could you use some bigger energy in your life? Right? Well, I'll be the bigger energy personality for you at the moment, but I want to transfer some of that to you and give you 3 very quick, practical, external things that can be put into your body to improve surface level, short-term, fast, clean energy. Now, there's long-term energy, there's cellular energy, there's the whole process of generating ATP. You know what ATP? Yeah, you know me because I like energy. That's what runs our bodies. 3 keys to fast, clean energy in a very simple, digestible form with a very simple, digestible tool to get this into your life, to up the energy category, to get more done, to fight fatigue, and in order to accomplish more at the end of the day. Maybe you're giving your family the leftovers. Maybe you're giving your spouse the leftovers. Maybe you're not giving as much in your job. Maybe you're just exhausted. In any fashion, it's some spring cleaning. It's cleaning out the closets. Let's get this revamped and get the energy up. Let's go. First, right out of the gates, step number 1, the 3 keys to fast, clean energy. 14 warning signs of the number 1 cause of doctor visits. And I'm going to show you the tool to prevent them. Do you have any of these right out of the gates? Headaches, fatigue, low energy, muscle tension or pain, sweating profusely more so, not like intentional, I'm working out sweating, like you have that regularly, like over sweating. Nausea, a lot of bouts of just queasiness, a lot of disrupted sleep, not from little kids that come into your room in the middle of the night because they need something. Digestive problems, okay? You're getting a knot in your stomach, you're getting the runs, you're getting maybe an ulcer. Increased heart rate, you can feel it, you can feel the palpitations or increased blood pressure. Difficulty concentrating, that's you if you just had to get refocused there. Racing thoughts or constant worry, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, more than normal, okay? If you got something coming up, there's a deadline, just more than normal or regularly or like, wow, this is getting out of hand here, okay? Irritability or mood swings, loss of interest in the activities that you previously enjoyed or previously loved. Like just like, I don't feel like doing that anymore. And then just an overwhelm or a regularity now of more than normal sadness or depression. Are you in this boat? 14 warning signs that you have the number 1 cause of doctor visits. Number 1 reason you go to the doctor, right here. Here's the research. Pulled this straight from WebMD. 75 to 90% of all doctor visits, not hospitalizations, not I've got a raging infection, not I'm having a heart attack, okay, not hospital, not like, emergency room. It's like doctor visits. Stress-related ailments and complaints. You are going there because you have some kind of strain on your system. Here's a concept. Just recently, deal with a lot of moving parts. We all are in our life, but in more recent past, there was just a lot of different things I had to think about. And I started to identify some of these warning signs, okay? And I started to look at, okay, I have been dealing with multiple layers of things, and a couple of these showed up for me. And I was like, wow, that's interesting that I'm feeling those now. Never really felt them before. How's my body? I'm taking good care of it, but it doesn't seem like I'm coping with there was just a couple different angles hitting me at the same time, all healthy things, all fine, Dr. Livingood's good, but just life stuff that hits at one time. So I started digging into this. There's actually research showing not only that this is the number 1 cause of doctor visits if you have this accumulation, but stress is cumulative. There's several psychological studies, and they do this a lot with college students, different areas and populations, but stress is cumulative. Little pun there on cumulative cloud, cumulative stress with strain and stress, okay? It's like a bucket, okay? And it starts raining. So all of these things that we just listed, and then when they all hit it multiple times. So you start to get raindrops. And so this is, like you got a financial crisis, and then there's a conflict with a relationship that you have. And then there's the work extra load and overtime that you're facing. And then there's poor nutrition, okay? So you're stressing your body out. All the different strains. And so these start hitting the bucket, okay? And they start filling this up. Now, when you're down here, you can handle the stress coming in, going out, coming in, going out. So what happens is when you're here, you're somewhat of a relaxed state when your bucket is about this full. You can only handle so much though, because the water's got to drain out here and get out, meaning the stress has to get out of the bucket and drain. And as long as it does, more can come in and you can handle it, okay? This is literally psychology flow. So many drops can come into the bucket, it's gotta be drained. Okay, we're gonna talk about the drain in a second. What happens though is it starts raining even more. And so the bucket gets way up here And now you're in the zone of being stressed. Okay, so now we're stressed. All right, I'll show you a close-up version of this in just a second. So now we've raised this and all this water starts piling up. All this stress starts piling up in the system. That is exactly the point that you start experiencing these. When the system backs up and can't drain, it starts coming out in other areas. Tension in your neck, fatigue, it's just draining and grinding your gears. You start sweating a lot more. It's pushing out almost this stress that's in your body. Or feeling like just an overwhelm or an anxious, especially in the middle of the night, just racing thoughts, constant worry, can't concentrate. You can literally feel it in your chest, the heart beating, it's pounding. I want you to watch out for these things because with the actual overwhelm of this and the pile up of this, it becomes a problem. So the stress draining up. So here's the keys to it. This is where it got me. That concept, probably pretty easy for you to understand. I like to make things very simple for you. The drain here. This is super important because you've got to be able to drain it and then fill up and get this stuff out of you. How you do these drains makes all the difference. If there are healthy ways to do it, which I'm going to walk you through a couple in a little bit. There's breathing exercises. There's doing something you enjoy. There's laughter. I'll put an LOL. There's exercise. We're doing movement. Those are healthy ways to drain this bucket. The more of those you do, the bucket can drain, the water level goes down, you can handle the stresses that are coming into your life. You oftentimes can't prevent the rain, can you? You can't stop the storm clouds. You can't stop a storm rolling in. You can't stop the thunder and the lightning. You can't stop the events that happen in your life, can you? We can't control when it rains, but we can control our bucket and how it empties. Here's the problem. A lot of us in today's world are taking the other side of the bucket. So we start draining in an unhealthy way. And what it does is these unhealthy habits of we just socially cut off. So we isolate. We turn to drugs, alcohol, smoking. We turn to just social media, right? We just go into blank mode. We do something else. We gamble, we play games, we isolate our brain. In these unhealthy manners, we overeat. That's how we handle it. This is an unhealthy way of handling it. And actually what it does is it ends up getting a temporary drain. So the water goes down a little bit, but it siphons back up to the top of the bucket, puts it back in an unhealthy manner, and ends up stressing the system over time. That right here, this is what is the number one cause of doctor visits. I think that's a pretty important one because part of my purpose is to prevent you having to go to the doctor because you're so healthy you don't need it in the first place. Get so healthy that Big Pharma's got nothing for you to do. Get so healthy that you don't have to visit the doctor. These are kind of some goals. So we can't stop the rain. We can help how we drain the bucket. So going back to this, let me give you a clean version so you can dive into this. The stress levels, the relaxed levels. Draining it healthy is breathing, movement, enjoyment, quality time with the people that we love, rest. Allow your bucket to drain and get this line down to the relaxed level. Okay, you can have water in your bucket. You can't have too much. You can't control the stressors, but you can control the bucket. If it's unhealthy, procrastination, putting off what you know to do, putting off taking care of your health, putting off alcohol, stress eating, social media, being antisocial, isolation, smoking. These are never the healthy solutions. They're going to fill your bucket back up long term. How do we drain the bucket in a healthy manner? I want to challenge you right now, very simply, in a matter of minutes a day, you can drain this bucket way more than you ever suspected. And no matter what storm is in your life, you can start to combat it to avoid the number one reason for hospital visits. This is key number one. Here it is. Stress less. How do we do it? Number one, empty the bucket. What's your healthy release valve? First question. What's your healthy release valve? Analyze it, okay? And if you're paying attention, put it below in the comments. What is your healthy release valve? And maybe you want to identify what's one of your unhealthy if you want to share. Are you a procrastinator? But what actually gets you? What you can feel it. Sometimes you get the tingles down your neck and down your spine because you're like, oh, I just gave myself one. It's just relaxing. Okay, what is that? Is it movement? Is it going for a walk? Is it something you enjoy? Is it going to a movie? Is it being with a loved one? Is it reading? Is it a bath? Is it a rest? Just sleep. Just give me 12 hours of sleep. What is that? Identify it. What's your good and what's your bad? What's your unhealthy? Speak to the unhealthy way to drain it. Speak to the healthy one. So let's identify what's emptying your bucket in a healthy way. We've got to hit the release valve. Just identifying that. Step number one. Number two, move more, walk and talk. What I mean by this is we are in a sedentary world. If you work in an office setting, you sit all flipping day. I literally have a walking pad. I go outside and walk. There's not too many meetings that I take that I am just sitting here. If you have a meeting with a coworker, can we go walk and talk about this? That act of movement burns up a little of this bucket. It drains the bucket a little bit. So get some extra movement in your world, okay? This is all just part of key number one. This is the one I wanted to get to. to, the 1 to 3 minute breathing breaks. I talk about these all the time, but the 1 to 3 minute breathing breaks is a very simple method that has been proven to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the system that heals and calms down your body. It is a direct bucket drainer. Ready to try it? Deep breath in, 5 seconds. Deep breath out, 6 seconds. Go again, 5 in. Hold it at the top if you can, 6 out. It's like you're smoking a cigarette. Don't do that. It's nature's cigarette. 5 in, I say 6 out. It's 5 and 5. But you want the breath out to be a little bit longer. If you want to go in for 4, because that's all you can get, and then hold it for a couple seconds, you can do that and go out. That's called box breathing. Either one of them works. 1 minute of this, a couple times a day, empties the bucket. It's a drainer. Open the valve. It drains it. I guarantee it. Doing that right there can instantly lower your blood pressure. Doing that right there can instantly stimulate your brain to help performance. Doing that right there lowers your stress level, helps your heart and your digestive system. Proven through research of the nervous system. It's got 2 types: parasympathetic stimulation, healing, relaxing. Sympathetic nervous system are the raindrops and the clouds. This is the stressors of your life. Stop trying to control the stressors. Start focusing on controlling the valve. The 1 to 3 minute breathing breaks. Hold that thought. I'm going to give you an easy way to implement this, because what gets tracked makes progress. Sounds like a good idea, Dr. Livingood, but then you don't actually do it, do you? Sounds good on the day that you're watching this, but then 2 days later you forget about it. I'm going to give you a simple tool and challenge you to get this into your life. So, could this one tracker really be the fix for 13 different conditions? 13 different conditions. So it is said, and this is kind of like knowing doctors that been around for a really long time. And I grew up, I had one that I hunted with, and just an 80-year-old that's been in practice for 50 years. Like, this is part of the reason why I'm a doctor today, because I grew up around a couple of them and we would hunt with them. And so I was like, I have no business becoming a doctor, a kid from a small town in Iowa. But wow, I got a chance to be around a couple of them, and they'd been practicing for 50 years and helping people, 60 years, even some of them pushing. 50 was kind of more normal by the time I got through doctorate school. And one of the things is like that was so underestimated, right? That any condition you'd come with I got this problem with my joints, I got this problem with my digestive system, I got this it was water. It's like I got in an accident and lost my arm. Drink more water, right? I have a headache. Drink more water. I have an infection. Drink more water. It's so underestimated. Put in the comments below if you know I probably need to do a little more. Or you're putting other liquids in way more. You were putting sodas, you were putting coffees, I don't have any problem with the coffees, but you're putting way more of all of that stuff in than you are pure good for you water. Who needs to drink more water? Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into all the different types of water, and don't even bring up, hydrogen waters, the pH waters, the Kangen waters, I'm not talking about all of those things. So just narrow in drinking enough of it and actually measure it, because this one tracker be the fix for 13 different conditions. Let me break this down for you. Indigestion. What's the solution? Drink more water. Drink more water if you're having indigestion. So those suffering from my stomach is not doing well, give it more water. Proves that your body can process the food better, break it down better. So more water. Having poor circulation, your blood is not getting to your extremities. Increase the volume of your blood just a little bit. Add more water in to purify the blood, to balance out the blood, to balance out the fluid on the body. Poor circulation, drink more water. Need to lose weight? It processes your food better. Water does. Drink more water. And you feel more full drinking more water. Plus, you're getting some extra steps from wherever you're sitting to the bathroom, because you have to go to the bathroom more. So you get a little exercise in. Are you having performance issues? Guess what the solution is? Drink more water. It energizes your body. Here's the study that shows it, that they actually took people that were having problems with performance. They studied them, and I'm talking about performance in the actual classroom, and they studied them to help the brain out. And they looked at their course research, and they found that those that drank water during their studies, during their tests, scored 5% higher than those without. Literally having a water bottle on your desk throughout your day can give you a 5% better cognitive function and performance. I can't make this stuff up. This is solid research out of London with 447 psychology students. Just drinking water. If you're having performance issues, are you having kidney or UTI problems? The number one thing you can start with, drink more water. Why? Because the New York Times article had this and they featured it, and it was a study that they showed. A moderate increase in water consumption can clear sodium, urea, and toxins from the body, decreasing the likelihood of a kidney-related problem and even kidney stones. Drink more Water. Skin problems, wrinkles. First step, drink more water. University of Wisconsin. It touted that drinking water as a way to keep great looking and youthful skin. More water. If it's wrinkly, you don't like what it's looking like on the outside, put more water in. Add a lemon to it. Add a cucumber to it. Get a little bit more benefit out of it. Constipated. You're all blocked up? Drink more water. It helps to push it along. For proper bowel movements, your body needs two things, fiber and water. So if your body is short on fiber, your body will pull more water from the stools. And that's what gives you constipation. So you're light on fibers, you want to add a little bit more fiber in, but you also want to add more water in because it's got to pull more and it will help to relieve you if you're suffering from constipation. Do you have headaches? One of the first steps you can do is drink more water. Not all headaches are caused by dehydration, but mild or severe dehydration can cause headaches. Drink more water. Need more money? Broke? Well, what do soda, coffee, juice, energy drinks, what do they all have in common? They cost money. Most of the time, most of us have some kind of source, some kind of place that we can get water for free. Now, I get it. There's other layers of filtration and health of it, but just to drink more water for your health, what an easy first step for so many of us to do. How about cramping? Experiencing cramps, experiencing the body. There's a fluid balance that has to go on between potassium and sodium, and water helps the scenario. Now, you still need sodium, you still need potassium, but if you're cramping, drink more water. You have poor immune function, drink more water. It helps stimulate and oxygenates the blood. It removes toxins from the blood. It increases lymph production. It cleanses the eyes. It cleanses the mouth. It lubricates the joints. All things that are related to autoimmune related diseases, everything from rheumatoid arthritis to, some kind of common cold. We talked about performance issues with brain power. What about performance issues with muscles? Literally dove into it, and they showed that drinking 17 ounces, this is American College of Sports Medicine, 17 ounces of water before you work out can help power those muscles. 2 hours before. So you're trying to get it in the first thing you wake up. Do when you wake up, because I work out pretty close to when I wake up. I drink at least 17 ounces of water to start my day. Just getting up and replenishing the dehydration that happened while you were sleeping to get your body going, your brain going. Even if you're not working out, it's a good practice to do to help your performance. Need more energy? Drink more water. Your body needs water to enable the chemical reactions that turn food into energy. So how do you know? Well, here's a simple way to look for it. Transparent, you're there, you've drank enough, you can back it down just a little bit. So you want to sip on water throughout the day. We want to lightly water the ground. We don't want to dump a bucket on the ground. We want to shoot it with a sprinkler. So throughout the day is when we want this rhythm, okay? So once you reach transparent, you're there. Now, if it looks like lemonade, this is an optimal hydration. Keep doing what you're doing. You get the lemonade color, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good with hydration. You could push towards making it even a little bit clearer, but you're about right where you need to be, okay? Now, if it looks like light beer, you're still hydrating and doing great. You need to keep going though, okay? Now, if it gets to an amber colored beer, now you're in trouble. No need to fret necessarily, but you need to drink some water. You could be dehydrated. If it gets to dark color maple syrup color, then you're really in trouble. You drink water right away. That's how you can tell. Just look at what's coming out. So half your body weight in ounces of water daily is what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. Half your body weight in ounces. If you weigh 150 pounds, you're drinking 75 ounces. If you weigh 100 pounds, you're drinking 100 ounces a day. Now, set a phone timer or use a water marker. Now, what I mean by that is you can set a timer on your phone to drink every 30 minutes, every 15 if you wanted. So it just nudges you. But that's your way. Or maybe every hour would get you there because you forget to drink throughout the day. That's the problem for a lot of you. So set a nudge so you're just lightly sprinkling all day long. You'll start to fix your thirst mechanism and pretty soon your brain will start prompting you. You could use a marker on the side of your bottle, like the Livingood Daily water bottles. We have markers on it to know how much I've gone through and how close I'm getting. So those are examples of it. And finally, what gets tracked makes progress. How can we get you doing the one thing that helps 13 different conditions? How can we get you doing the one thing that helps the number one cause of doctor visits? So if there were two things to improve your health, breathing and drinking water, if you just put those into your life, like actually got them in every day for a week, for 2 weeks, a month, what would happen? What would happen to your weight? What would happen to your energy? What would happen to your stress? Should we find out? That is exactly why I created the Big Energy Challenge Tracker. It is as simple as you think. Each day you will track your water and your breathing. So did you get in half your body weight in ounces of water? Okay, so your goal is blank ounces of water per day. You can put that in there based on your weight. You're breathing 1 to 3 times a day. You've got to get that in. What gets tracked makes progress. The act of crossing off or filling in your raindrop and your breathing circle will get you the tracked progress. The Big Energy Challenge Tracker. It is yours. It's below. There's a link to it. Put this simple tracker together to help you implement. The number one reason for doctor's visits is lowering stress. And if we lower it, does that decrease your chance of going to a doctor for any of those kind of conditions? And then 13 different conditions that are extremely common that could be improved by simply drinking water. Can we do this? Anyone can do this. These could be your focuses for the month. And we've got a tracker to be able to implement it. Now, also in this tracker, we gave you a couple of recipes. Here's a way you can get a bunch of liquids in and also support your adrenals. The adrenals love vitamin C, they love potassium, they love sodium. So you can add those things into your water and help support the adrenal glands if you've got extra stress. There's also a guide of how to do the box breathing, okay, or the pace breathing. This one's really good if you are experiencing things going on with the heart, lots of chest pounding, anything arrhythmia related or electrical function related. Box breathing can be helpful for those types of things, or you can do the pace breathing to help lower the stress levels as well. So strongly recommend the Big Energy Tracker, drinking your water, doing your breathing, and drive water into your cells. All right, you guys, there it is. Share this video, help someone else get some big energy. They can grab the free tracker. They could start getting more water. They could start breathing more. They could get electrolytes in. You can help someone else right now by just hitting share, paying it forward, sending them the link to this video.